Hey everyone, I'm Keegs, and welcome to my series where we talk about the timeline of the Star Wars universe and when all these shows take place. Now, with all the stories coming out, it can get really confusing as to when all this stuff's happening, and the directors never explicitly tell you when all this stuff is happening, so I understand the confusion from a lot of people, so hopefully I can clear that up for you here, and also maybe give you some supplemental material that will help you get a better understanding of the universe and where we're at within it. Today we're going to be talking about the Book of Boba Fett series. Now this one's actually even more confusing because there's two timelines going on actually. The first flashback timeline takes place right after the Sarlacc pit incident, which happened in episode 6, Return of the Jedi. If you remember that movie, then you remember that Boba Fett got knocked into the Sarlacc pit, and which is big desert monster in the ground, and that was kind of assumed to be the end of him in the Star Wars universe. But then we see from this series that he actually ends up crawling out of that and then going to train with the Sand People. And he trains with the Sand People for about 5 years. Through the course of that 5 years, it ends up coming to the present time where he has found Fennec Shand in Tatooine, and they end up taking the Tatooine underworld. It's also important to note that in between the flashback 5 years and the present day stuff, when they've taken over the underworld, the season 2 Mandalorian takes place in between there. So it's really important to see at least season 2 of Mando before you see the Book of Boba Fett, especially because there is a lot of material related to the Mandalorian in the Book of Boba Fett. There's actually a few full episodes completely dedicated to the Mandalorian, and if you haven't seen those first 2 seasons of Mando, you will be very confused and lost. And then I imagine when season 3 of Mando comes out, you're going to be really lost if you didn't see the Book of Boba Fett, because it has some very heavy implications for the series going forward. There are also some characters from the animated series Star Wars Rebels, but they're not huge characters. If you want some supplemental background knowledge, then it would be a good one to watch, but I wouldn't say it's mandatory by any means. You're not going to be lost in the show if you have not seen Rebels. The biggest takeaway here should be that Boba Fett series takes place about 5 years after episode 6, Return of the Jedi, which is about 25 years before episode 7, The Force Awakens. So we know at this point the Empire has fallen, the New Republic is in control of the galaxy. Control, I say that a little loosely, but they are in control and in power, and Luke Skywalker at this point is really in his prime and doing all sorts of badass Jedi stuff around the universe. So there you have when the Book of Boba Fett takes place. I hope if you were confused, then this has cleared it up for you a bit, and I really hope that you go see Mando season 1 and 2 before you start this, and then you start this and watch it fully, and then start Mando season 3. I think that's kind of going to be really important for these stories to understand what's going on. But I'm Keegs. Stay tuned for more timeline discussions about the Star Wars universe and the shows in them. May the Force be with you.